Alright, today's the day. Today's the day. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing the oil cooler gaskets on the Subi. So let's see how that goes. Wish me luck. Okay, we're just about ready to pull the oil drain plug. Just getting everything ready here. Currently have the car on my little blocks. That way I can get the clearance that I need. So I have one side jacked up. Just enough so I can slide this baby under. So I'm going to be using the 17mm socket here. And I'm going to crack it free and let it drain out. Car is still warm. Oil should come out nice and smooth. See how tight I put this on the last time I did it. Usually overkill, but we got it cracked. It's always good to crack your oil fill right here. Provides better flow. Well, let's see how dirty this oil is going to be here. Ooh, it's hot. It's still hot. I forget. I just drove the car, so beware. Go. It's warm. Holy mother. Woo! Big ol' bubble. Damn. Ooh, nice and loopy goopy. Just gonna let this do its thing. Clean up my mess over here. Made a big old oil bubble and squirted everywhere. That normally doesn't happen. Drain plug looks okay. Any metal shavings on this magnet here would be a bad sign. This is the, what is this, the Greddy oil drain plug. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Every last drop counts. So I just lowered the car a little bit just to get it more level. We'll just get a little more out. Okay, it's been a couple minutes. Now we're just down to a slow little drip. So I'm going to go on ahead and put the oil drain plug back in. And we're going to loosen up the oil filter now. Wipe it up a little bit, make it all happy. I'm not replacing the oil drain gasket at this point just because this is the thicker one that comes from Greddy. And I've been reusing it every time with no leaks, so. Get in your hole. Dun, 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 dun. Cool, I'm just going to snug that up and move on. Let's see, normally I can get lucky with getting this loose with my hands. You're going to want to turn it counterclockwise to loosen it. My hand hurts already. Let's see if it'll cooperate with us today. It's going to break it loose here. Let it start draining out. Boop, 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 boop. Notice how I put a glove on, obviously, to prevent the soupy doopy mess. There we go. Screw it, I'll get it later. And that's that. Let it do its thing now. I need to clean up. I need a courtesy wipe over here. Whew. Okay, so pretty basic so far. We haven't even gotten into the oil cooler gaskets, but it's coming soon. Stay tuned. This is just a routine oil change so far. Had my car backed in and did a little startup, and it kind of spluttered everywhere. A little bit of sputter splatter, putter patter. Gotta be careful for that. Catless life. Try at your own risk. This is not recommended, but I jack up the car right from that cross member there, just to get it on the jack stands, and then I immediately relieve the pressure. That way it's not just sitting on that cross member. Seems to work out. Haven't had an issue yet. I hope it'll work this time. Consult your user manual for a proper technique. Alright, we are safe to proceed. Alright, here we are taking a look under the car now. Just got our oil filter off, and we have the area exposed where we're gonna be taking off the nuts up here. This big bad boy here comes off first, and then pretty much gonna separate it from the block and then pull these hoses later. Not quite sure how I'm gonna tackle it yet, but we are gonna get after it right here, right now, and hopefully be done with this little oil leak going on. Just to confirm, this first nut right here is gonna be a 24mm. So I got one right here, deep socket, doesn't matter, I don't think. We're gonna get this nut loose, or I don't know if it's a bolt or nut or what, but yeah, we're gonna get it loose and see what else we reveal underneath. Alright, here comes the oil flowing out. Couple drips here and there. So far so good. That noise you're hearing is a cut-off header, maybe, of a Ford Ranger. Sounds pretty beefy for a V6 or even 4-cylinder. I'm kind of jealous. Alright, let's begin to back out this nut. Looks like a bolt. It's a bolt. It's official. It's a bolt. Let's continue to back out this bolt and see what happens. Might lose even more oil, but we should be ready if that's the case. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's a bolt. It's definitely a bolt. It looks like a bolt with the threaded nut on it. It's kind of different, but not much oil coming out, so I think we are good. Coming under to take a closer look here. So here's the oil cooler itself. In order to get this piece in our hand, we're going to take off this coolant hose here, and there's another coolant hose back here I'm going to grab. So it looks like some pretty easy clips to undo, so let's go ahead and do that and make a mess with all the coolant everywhere. Okay, it could get messy. Got my safety goggles on, got my big drip pan down there, and I'm assuming a bunch of coolant's going to start flowing out. So let's see what happens. Hopefully everything is in safe distance here. Okay, I'm going for this clip here that's on this bottom hose, and hopefully it'll just slide off for me. Got my 90-degree pliers here. Hopefully I can sneak up behind it. Okay. Okay, shot out a little. Abort! Abort! It's a little splashy. Like I said, it could get messy, and it definitely did get messy. Just gonna let it flow out. Trying to prevent any splatter if I can. It was lukewarm anyway. Could have been worse if it was boiling hot. Man, look how pretty that is still. It's a shame. Okay. Hose clamps off there. The hose is still on. Just gently trying to massage that pipe off of the little nipple here without damaging the actual hose. Pretty tight. Probably hasn't ever been off. I kind of slipped this hose back on just for some support while I get this rear one off here. Still struggling to get this hose off of this hard line here. Just gently holding it with one hand and trying to get the hose off with the other. It's not the greatest access point. Okay, it's off. No flow, we're good. Okay, so this is the hose that I'm working with here. This is the one that I just took off of this hard line here. It's a little easier to get to. That's why I didn't take it off directly from the oil cooler. So I figured I can get the hose on and off fairly easy from this angle. So yeah, we're gonna have this oil cooler in our hands before we know it. Alright, should be free right now. Boom! And there she is. We're gonna get her all cleaned up and inspect her. Just cleaning up the area pretty good before I go on to the next step here. It's always nice to have a nice clean area to work. Here we are back under the car now. There's like 6 bolts holding on this adapter. They're all 10mm. So we're gonna break those free, get those out, and hopefully see the other O-rings and seals we need to replace. Start to crack these loose. They shouldn't be too tight, but we'll see what happens. Coming off pretty easy. Alright, so these are just pretty small screws here. Careful not to drop them into the coolant tub. Last one, let's see what happens, if it's going to want to fall off or if I'm going to have to pry on it. I'm going to try to come in with the pry bar, gently start to pry and wiggle it out, hopefully. Just give it a little bit of persuasion to get off there. There we go. Didn't take much, but I did have to give it a little pry on the side. Okay, so next we're going after this 21mm nut right here. It's going to take off the other portion of this piece. This is the part that's bolted straight to the block. So hopefully it'll come off without any problems. There we go. Wasn't too tight. So we can get it off with our hands now. Just keep in mind the orientation in which you took it off. Boom, there we go. Voila. Second part of this oil cooler is off. Time to clean it up and swap the gaskets and O-rings. Alright, so I'm going to go through and start replacing these O-rings and the gaskets. So we're going to have 2 of these style gaskets here. Again, everything will be linked in the description below for your convenience. So we have this one here. So I'm going to kind of take this apart right here and show you where they all go. But there is a total of 4 different gaskets and O-rings that we're going to have to put in. So let's get to it. Alright, start tearing out these O-rings here, or gaskets, whatever you want to call them. But here we go with the first one. That's going to be numero uno. I'll make sure to clean up the area pretty good here. Alright, I'll put this baby in here. It's already looking better already. One more over here. Take this baby out. Yeah, it's just kind of rock hard at this point. Again, clean the area. Put the next new one in. Boom, boom, boom. I can already tell how much thicker the new ones are compared to the old ones. The old ones are all flat and lame, and the new ones are looking proper. Alright, time to expose the other O-rings, or seals, what do you want to say? O-rings, gaskets. Whoops. Alright, gonna pop that off. We're gonna reveal another seal and an O-ring. So this blue one, this is actually pressed down on top and bottom and is like a rectangular shape, and it's supposed to be more of a round O-ring style, but this one's just many years old and it's just gone flat over the years, and that is no bueno. So we're gonna pop this one in, part number 806959030. Again, I'm linking everything in the description for your convenience. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but you can see how much flatter this one is compared to the new one. Bad, good. No bueno, bueno. So this one will go right here, just like such. And then we'll have another one secretly hiding somewhere right here on this lip. Right inside this lip right here, we'll have another one. And that one's gonna come right out, hopefully. Pop it out. Again, this one's all hard and not even round anymore. It's got flat sides, which is not good. Here's our new one right here, part number 806932040. Get this baby out. Just gonna clean the area off a little bit, right in this little edge. And I'm gonna use a little bit of O-ring grease on this one. It kind of sandwiches together on this one, and I don't want the O-ring to split while I push these together. So I have some O-ring grease that I picked up, just some silicone grease. That should do the trick. Alright, we're just about to put back the first part of the oil cooler assembly. Just make a quick note that this little peg goes in between up here in this little area. That way the assembly won't rotate when you try to tighten it down, and you'll be good to go. Just put it back exactly how you took it off. That's always my plan anyway. Usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So we got the peg right here, boom. It's gonna be going up like this. Make sure everything's clean, new O-rings on there, or new gasket. I cleaned up the area pretty good. We're gonna try to get this started here. Might be a little tricky. May have been better off starting it with my left hand, but let's go with my right. Make sure you're lined up with it. Should go right into place. So far so good, nothing's cross-threading, everything seems smooth, feels smooth. Now I am going to do proper torque specs on these. Let's gotta double check the torque specs real quick. Alright, so we're going for 33.2 for our torque spec here. Just gonna do 32.5 because that's the increment that my torque wrench works at. It's really not that tight at all. That's all it takes right there. Okay, moving on. Okay, next piece right here. Keep in mind I did add a little bit of O-ring grease right here, just on the O-ring, so that way it'll seat into this area smoothly and it won't pierce the O-ring on the way in. So I just want to be safe than sorry, you know what I'm saying? So find your orientation, find the way that looks correct, and yeah, mount her up. Obviously it goes like this, duh. Boom, sucker. Okay, let's wiggle her on and hopefully she goes on smooth. She feels okay. Let's go ahead and start those 10mm bolts now. Did not even check. Double check. Oh no. Did fall off. There it is. Be sure that your blue O-ring is on there as well. I almost lost it. Let's put that baby back on. I wanted to have it on before I put it like this. Got a clue. Might use a little bit of O-ring grease juice. Okay, so we should be okay on this so far. Again, we're gonna line it up. Let's get those 10 mil bolts started. That should seat everything in correctly. Okay, really nothing to it. We're just putting it back together as we took it off, the same way. Hopefully I didn't forget anything yet. So far I have a total of 3 O-rings, and there's only 1 more to go, so I think I'm doing everything right. Just kind of using my extension here to get the bolts up here that are difficult to reach. Easy enough to get them started like this. And I kind of evenly tighten these down just so the O-ring seats correctly. And everybody's happy. And these are going to be torqued down to a special torque. I will have to double check. Okay, so these 10 mil bolts are like a whopping 4.7 foot-pounds. So my torque wrenches don't even go down that far, so I'm just going to give it the old guesstimation. Definitely don't want to over tighten these, so just snug will do. 4.7, that's like nothing. Like I said, I'm going to evenly torque them down. Just kind of go around. 4.7, come on, really? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess that's good enough. Might be a little tricky to get this in here, but we're gonna give it a shot here, right now. It's not allowing me to rotate you little whole bag. Okay, this little notch right here is gonna line up with this little notch up here. I'm gonna make sure the notch on the oil cooler is gonna pretty much rest up against this side right here. So I hopefully it'll go into place here. It's hard to really see the notch once it's in place, but everything looks like it's lined up. Let's see if we can start our big old nut here, our big old bolt. Come on, find the thread, find the thread, find the thread. Kind of feels like it, but it ain't it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. Ooh, that feels better. That feels better. Pretty sure we're on our notch that we need, because everything's lining up. We're hoping so, because if not, we're gonna have one big leak. I'm gonna get my phone out and see if I'm flush with everything. Okay, well everything seems to have lined up just as it should. Just gonna throw on this hose right up here. We already got this one on. Then we're gonna torque this baby down. And yeah, one step closer to actually adding oil and putting coolant in this bad boy and get this job done. Alright, I'm just loosening this up just a little bit. That way I can get this coolant hose on this hard line right behind this header here. Okay, just want to get that started, and then I will thread this baby back up. Everything seems lined up and happy. Got the coolant hose back on up here. Just got to put the clips on. Hopefully it's going to be a leak-free fit. You never know with these old coolant lines. So we're really just crossing our fingers at this point. Putting these hose clamper dampers on next here. Alright, just wrestled on these hose clamps right here. Got one up there, goes onto the hard line. And then that one right there. I'm just praying and hoping and crossing my fingers that nothing leaks and we'll be good to go. It's time to torque down this bolt right here. I'll get back to you on the specs. Alright, so this 24 mil right here, I'm going to torque that baby down to 40 foot-pounds. Call it a day. That's actually the torque spec for that, so 40 foot-pounds right here coming up. There she blows. Well, everything's looking familiar again under here. Just got to screw on our new oil filter. I got an OEM Subaru one. Again, everything you need is going to be in the description of this video. But yeah, pretty much I think we did everything correctly, or I did everything correctly. Like I said, we're just going to cross our fingers, hope and pray, and praise the Almighty, whoever you guys believe in. But we need all the favors, all the prayers, and all the good vibes our way. So we're going to start filling up oil, filling up coolant. Then we're going to crank her over, cross our fingers, pray to Allah, Buddha, whoever else. And hopefully we'll be moving on. Got our OEM filter right here. Make sure the O-ring up top is going to be nice and lubed. Just give it a nice little courtesy rim. A little rim around the rosy. Screw this baby on. This is actually the first time I'm using an OEM Subaru oil filter. I don't know why, I just always go with something else. Maybe just the convenience factor. Because auto parts stores don't really carry OEM parts, so 1, 2, 3. Damn, that like cinched down enough. So yeah, we're good. Tight. Okay, everything's good, good. Oh man, if this leaks at all, I'm just gonna shoot myself. Alright, we're gonna be filling this baby up with some Rotella T6. This is my choice, 5W40. Great on high heat, high horsepower applications. Just a bit thicker than OEM 5W40 versus OEM 5W30. And yeah, seems to work pretty well for me. And a lot of other Subi bros out there. Moment of truth, we're gonna fill her up with some oil. Then we're gonna be doing some coolant, bubbling and burping, getting all the air out of the system. That might be a task in itself, but yeah, we're gonna get through this. I'm extremely nervous to start the car right now. I'm just thinking through my head, did I do everything correctly? Did I tighten everything down? Did I put the O-rings in the right spot? Did I do the gaskets right? Only one thing I can do, and that's start it up and see if I did everything right. I didn't even top the coolant off yet. I just want to start it up and make sure there's no oil leaks. If not, all good. Then I'll start burping the system and getting the coolant working through the whole engine. Make sure there's no overheating issues. And yeah, oh boy, here we go. Wish me luck. Nothing going on. No leaks. As far as oil leaking, we have success here. Now let's go on ahead and top off our coolant, make sure everything's performing like it should, and hopefully we'll be on our maiden voyage and going for a test drive. Finally get to use my spill-proof funnel kit. I bought this after I did my coolant flush for my car. You can check out the video if you want. I did a coolant flush and I didn't have this cool little special funnel kit, and let's just say that I spilled a lot of coolant, and I could have prevented that if I had this little gadget here. So this is on Amazon, pretty cheap. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can get one for yourself. I'll show you how it works. Pretty much comes with all attachments, all different makes and models. And you just find the cap that suits your car, and your life will be much easier. So it's obviously color coded. Green goes with green, yellow, 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 red, red, orange, orange, blue, blue. Grab an extension or whatever that may work. In my case, I don't really need one, so put that back. Just throw this on here. Should just be a straight shot, and we'll just start adding coolant. And when we have enough, we just push the little plunger back in and pull it off, and you don't spill a single drop. Well, that's the plan anyway. I did pick up a couple gallons of the super coolant from my local Subaru. You can also get it online for cheaper. So again, I'll have a link in the description if you guys are interested. I'm sure you can use some generic coolant as well, but I'm just, you know, following the directions here. Alright, just going to start adding coolant just until I see that it starts to back up inside the bowl here. And at that point, I will turn the car on and let it start doing its thing. I did lose quite a bit, so I'm thinking she's going to take maybe up to maybe over a gallon. Let it take it all in. And as soon as you think she's done drinking, you just pinch some hoses here or there and it'll just be sucked right in. Gonna take a quick peek under the car, make sure none of our coolant lines are seeping through and dripping. Everything seems dry. Let's keep on going. She did drink up over a gallon here. So we can actually start the car up and let it bubble and fizzle, and hopefully we get the thermostat kick in and we'll be good to go. Gonna keep adding coolant. We don't want her to go dry. Always keep some coolant in here. Don't forget to also, I almost forgot, you want to run your heater. That way the heater core will have coolant flowing through it. And hopefully we'll start to get some hot air blowing through here. Yeah, our temperature is rising pretty quick here. Get on my access port here and go to the coolant temp mode. That way I can keep an eye on it. So at 205 or so, the thermostat should open up and start cooling the motor. So we're at 153, so we got some time to wait. All right, we're getting there. My car's been idling for about 10 minutes, and we are at 201 degrees, so thermostat should kick on around 205, I believe. So a couple more degrees to go, 203. So we should be hearing it any time. There they are. Thermostat's open. Cooling. 201, yeah, we're working. Back to 199, 98, 97. Coolant didn't really bubble or do nothing up here, so I think we are good. Back to 187. Yeah, everything's working good. Now we're just gonna plug this and hopefully lift it without spilling. Look at that. No spill, baby. Damn, this thing worked out flawlessly. It was a great success. All right, we are pretty much wrapped up here. Just gonna do the old test here. Flip over to a clean side of the cardboard. There we go, that's better. Slide her under. This will be the ultimate test to see if anything leaks overnight. And I'm feeling good. I got a good feeling about this. I think the leak is fixed. If not, then my valve cover gaskets may be the next thing to pinpoint and maybe replace. So we're just gonna have it pending until then. All right, moment of truth. It's the next day. Let's see if we got any drips at all. Any drips at all. Not a damn thing. Everything's looking good. We are wrapping up this video, just cruising the coast a little bit. Everything's good so far. Coolant good, no overheating. Just checked for oil leaks or any seepage coming through. Everything seems to be working and sealed nicely. So I'd say that this was a successful repair, and I'm hoping for no more leaks in the future. And if there are any leaks, I'm assuming it's going to be from my valve cover gaskets if I do see any leakage, but I'll be sure to keep an eye on that very closely. But other than that, guys, this video is over. Thank you guys, as always, for watching the videos and liking and subscribing and commenting and whatever else. Just remember to always consult your user manual before tackling any repairs, because I am not liable for anything that goes wrong. Just because you see me do it on my videos doesn't mean that it's okay for you to do it, and it doesn't guarantee that you're going to fix the problem without screwing something else up. I'm kind of learning as I'm going, as you guys probably have noticed already. So I just kind of learn on the fly most of the time, but other times I kind of do maybe some research here and there just to make sure that I'm doing it right. But it's really fun just to get hands-on, get dirty, and learn some more about your car. So that's really what it's all about in the end of the day. And also fixing the problems. It's always good to fix the problems. So that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to cruise on down the coast some more, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. All right, see you later.